Drew's behavior is so dangerous at this point that I try to call his name, I try to engage him, and he starts to attack me, attack someone else, attack himself in such a way that no other way can stop it, and that if I let it go on, there's going to be a serious injury. Now, the criteria for using this technique, this is fairly dangerous. I mean, we've engineered it so that it's as safe as we think we can make it, but all these things are inherently dangerous. Every time I touch him against his will, I risk re-engaging trauma, I risk the relationship, and I risk injury. We hear every year about people in the peak of health, 19-year-olds dribbling down the basketball court, no medical condition that anybody knows, and this person's had a full medical workup, they're dribbling, bam, heart attack, boom, they die. We never really know the person's cardiovascular health. So these things are always inherently dangerous. We want to stay clear away from them if we can. Just because this person's swinging on me doesn't mean I need to stop him. It may mean I need to exit. I mean to get away from him. I need to put barriers between us. I don't necessarily have to put my hands on him. But there may be situations where I do, and then if I didn't, there'd be some tragedy and somebody would be questioning me on how I let it happen. So let's just walk through then. So the best way to do this, once you face that corner. Okay. So I'll walk through it. I'll demonstrate the movement, and then we'll break it down into pieces. Okay. So here's the whole movement. Okay. Let's turn this way. I'll just do this from different angles. Okay. So the whole movement again. Okay. This way. What we're doing is I'm looking for, again, for a gross motor control. And I want to keep the same posture for everything. So earlier when Drew was trying to hit me, I would move and use this posture. I'm going to continue to use this posture because it's familiar to my body. The more often I practice it, the more and more ingrained it's going to get. As I'm coming into contact with Drew, I'm going to need to make some sort of contact with his body. And Drew's standing nice and quietly for me, but if you were really assaulting somebody, his hands would be moving. You can pound and pretend you're beating somebody up. His hand's moving. If I try to grab his hand, I'm likely to get hit. His hand coming back might hit me. You're trying to wrestle with his hand. I get into a big fight. What I want to do is make a connection to his body and need a place of attachment or a place of reference or a place of adhesion, might be called. And what I'm going to choose, the place I'm going to try to choose is the place I'm going to choose to do that with is his shoulder. Because no matter how fast his hands are moving, his shoulder is only doing this much movement, so it's a fairly stable platform. So when we teach this, we call a cadence, and the cadence goes this way. 1, touch the shoulder. 2, step across. 3, cinch it down. 4, release, move back. My hands are up in case he becomes aware of me. Swing on me, Drew. Swing on me. Okay, so my hands are up in case he becomes aware of me, swing on me. Bang. Okay, I can intercept this limb so it doesn't hit my face. So I come up, I touch the shoulder, good. And then here, turn this way. What I want to do is once I touch his shoulder, I don't take my hands off of him again. Okay, I'm going to use his body as a reference place. I touch, and then with my body, I come into position and I bring his hand down. I'm basically securing this arm against his body. And with my hands on the other side of his pelvis, that's where I'm going to hold him. Now, don't interlace your fingers because even not meaning to, but just as a reflex, you may grab your hand, and if your fingers are laced, you might break your fingers. So basically, I'm just holding him this way. It's important that you hold him on the pelvic bone, not above it into soft tissue. You don't want to injure his ribs or any of the structures in here. So you should feel bone under your hand. I'm settling my weight down and I'm keeping my pelvis in. If I'm out, here, turn this way a little bit. If I'm out like this, I'm giving him more of a clear shot at my groin. He can reach down and grab me or scratch me or something. Being enclosed kind of closes off that gate. The other thing it does is it protects my lower back. If I'm in here tight, my lower back is secure. If he starts dragging me around the room, I'll go with him. Okay? I'm not going to try to hold him rooted in place. It's not important that he be immobile. It's important that he can't injure other people. So if he's going to move my body weight around, that's okay. He'll get tired, and I'll just use gravity and body mass to help tire. Okay? When it's time to release, when he's calm, or when I'm pretty sure that he's not going to injure anybody anymore, I can go do the release. When I go to release, it's sort of the same thing. I go back to the elbow, and I step away. We can also do this with two staff. Okay? So I'm the first staff in, but the first staff in who begins the intervention is the team leader. So I'm the team leader. I come in first. I get control. Mark comes in second. He's in. So we hold Drew. Now some time goes by. He seems to be calm. He's renegotiated a release. I'm going to let go. So I'll say Mark steps up first. Mark goes out first. He doesn't go far in case I need him to come back. And I leave. We don't go in at the same time because Mark and I can bash heads in the back. First person comes in and gets sort of an immediate containment, and right away the second person comes in. Now the second person coming in might have a hard time getting their arm in there, so you might need to just make a little room for them to get their arm in, but you can feel it.